Well, well, well. Elon does it again. What's up, y'all? We had our Tesla earnings today. Big ol' earnings. Big one. Um, and as you might imagine, like I've been saying, earnings was a beat. I'm predicting beats across the board on earnings. I don't think earnings are going to be as bad as everyone thought they would be. That's kind of why I was saying we'd get an August rally, maybe late July rally. We see how long this goes if all the companies can keep it up. But Tesla with strong earnings. They beat on revenue, beat on EPS. Got positive free cash flow, yada yada yada. Operating margin 14.6%. That's strong. Um, but what? Electric automakers revenue took a significant quarter-over-quarter hit in Q2, falling from 18.76. Oh yeah, so revenue's down pretty strong. That's a solid drop on revenue, based off of last quarter. So we got slowdowns. Things are slowing down. All in all, I think they're about sideways. Yep, they're up not even 1%. Um, so very strong earnings. You love to see that on Tesla. What does catch my eye though, the big one, what I think will have a big implication for the crypto world is Elon is no more Mr. Diamond Hands. What happened there? I thought we got Mr. Diamond Hands Elon. Elon's taking a big L here. I got some beef with Elon. I don't know about all y'all Elon fanboys, but this dude's been fucking people around lately. They sold 75% of their Bitcoin, adding almost a billion in cash to its balance sheet, and that's very interesting because oh, I just had it up. Here we go. Their free cash flow was 621 million, and when you do the math, if a billion of that came from the crypto, they have a negative free cash flow. So is this Elon just doing some creative accounting here to keep the cash flow positive, or what's going on there? It's really interesting. And if you take a gander, if you take a gander at Bitcoin's chart, which I like to do time from time, um, you can have a look-see here and see. So Elon grabbed that Bitcoin. Let's go to the daily so we can see what kind of effect this had on the market. So Elon grabbed that Bitcoin right here, the 7th, and as you can see, Bitcoin bounced hard. Holy fuck, did it bounce hard. We got a $6,000 gain in Bitcoin on that news, 15.5%. And that ended up running Bitcoin from 38 all the way up to 56. Like, that was a hell of a stretch on Bitcoin, if you guys remember that. Not all, but, I mean, the market was ripping at this time too, but definitely pushed on by news of Elon, the richest guy in the world, coming out and saying, I believe in Bitcoin. I'm going to put it on my publicly traded companies, the biggest car manufacturer in the world. I'm going to put it on their balance sheet. That's how confident in Bitcoin I am. And tweeting all this shit, fucking diamond hands, go Dogecoin. He was just having a heyday. I think this guy gets off on his power trips with Bitcoin. So they grabbed that right there, and Bitcoin fucking exploded from 38 all the way to 57. Just a ridiculous, absurd rip from that point. So we can look back on the weekly. No, that's 2021. Here we go. So you can see Bitcoin went up 24%, 18% after that. So that was like a 50, almost 50% bounce off of that news. So I am curious to see, which it looks like Bitcoin already doesn't care, but I think we might see a delayed reaction. And Bitcoin is literally just mirroring the Nasdaq at this point. So I think if the Nasdaq keeps ripping like it has been, I don't think Bitcoin's going to go down. But it would kind of make sense to say if Bitcoin got a 50% bounce off of Elon buying, what's going to happen to it when he sold? And I'm asking myself, where the hell did he sell? So Q2, I mean, ended in April, so he must have sold in May or June. I'd be willing to bet that after this leg down from 38K, I mean, Elon was diamond hands and pretty good. So let's look back. He grabbed in here way back in February, bought in at 38K, And look at that. Do you think maybe he sold at break even? Do you think he just didn't want to take an L on that? I'd be willing to bet maybe, or he probably took it maybe a bit of a loss after he saw this dump and sold here around 30K. So he could have taken a 20% loss, could have broken even. It's kind of crazy though. I mean, what's that going to do to Bitcoin? You would think if it got ripped because the biggest guy, the biggest richest guy in the world bought it, then you might expect to see a dump off of him selling. I mean, Mr. Diamond Hands, this guy's fucking driving me crazy. And then you throw in all the Twitter crap. This dude is just full of horseshit every other day. So just it seems to me like it was a classic move to beef up their balance sheet. So I don't blame them for doing it, and I don't blame them for selling because I think Bitcoin still has a long ways to go. But it's very, very interesting why they would sell after he was king of pumping crypto for about a year straight, and now that it's going down, he has given up, and it's really interesting. I guess is all I can say. Let's look at MicroStrategy. What happened there? So MicroStrategy just dropped like 1% off of that news. It didn't really make a much difference for these crypto stocks. Coinbase went down like 3.5%. But it will definitely catch the eye, and Coinbase has just been completely squeezing shorts right now. It is having a full-blown short squeeze. I am looking at shorting it up here around the 80s. I might even short it tomorrow. We'll see. I think crypto is so far from being out of the clear. I think this is such an obvious bull trap in crypto. I don't know about stocks, but I think crypto is still just so far from being out of the clear. So I might take a look at shorting Coinbase. I don't think it's anywhere near its bottom. But as for Mara, it's also been having an insane short squeeze. Look at that short squeeze, but then look at the selling volume that we had today. It went down about 3.5%. So very crazy stuff going around all around. Off of that news, I believe the Nasdaq went down about off of Tesla earnings. It went down like $1, so it's down like 0.5%, 1/4%. But it is looking bullish. It's looking like it just had a bullish breakout. I wouldn't be surprised to see Nasdaq maybe rip up here to 310. That would not be crazy. And after that, I wouldn't be crazy to think it could go up to 315. Honestly, it's on a freaking win streak right now. But I will not feel the FOMO every time. So let me show you what SPY has done every time. This is just, it's like clockwork, SPX. So let's reverse. Let's go back and take a look at the year in perspective. We're here at 4,800 at SPX at the start of the year. We dump clear down to 4,200. That is a 600 point drop on the SPX. We get a bounce from 4,218 up to 4,600. So we regain about 400 points on SPX. You know, people are getting trapped up here. Bulls are thinking, that was a fake dump. Things ain't that bad. What do we do next? We dump from 4,600 all the way down to 4,100 to form a lower low. Then we chop around and we get this ridiculous, you guys, I'm never going to forget this. This is one of the formative months in my trading career, was this month of late March. We bounced from all the way down here at 4,100, clear up to 4,600 for about a 520 point gain. And then what'd we do? Month of April was the worst month ever. Just next leg down all the way to 3,800. We went from 4,600 down to 3,800 over a month. It was just insane. And then what happens? We come down here. We found a new low right here at 3,800. We get a bounce up to 4,100 for about a 400 point gain. We're gaining. Bulls are getting trapped. And we dump from about 4,180 all the way down to 3,600. Another 600 point drop down here. So you guys are kind of seeing the trend, right? This is kind of just what it does. It gets a nice 10% bounce, and then it sets it up for the next 15% dump. And that's just the way they do it. That's how the bears have to do it. And you can look at the RSI. Look at the RSI, dude. Look, it hits a bottom. It's oversold. It bounces. Hits a bottom. Bounces. Gets up here about. Dumps. And then what's it do? Oh, it gets overbought. It gets a little oversold. We get a nice bounce. Then a huge dump off. They managed to keep this from getting oversold on the daily. And then what's it do? It bounces from there. And so far, that's all we've been doing. And so we still have some gap to fill here on SPX. It did reject the gap slightly. We have a big old gap from 39.75 all the way up here to 4,016. So we got a solid 1% gap. I think we will fill that, but we do have this. I can draw a better one. So we do have this dynamic trend line that we could fill the gap perfectly, tap that, bounce off, dump from there. We have mega catalysts coming up. Let's look at briefing.com. Go to briefing if you need your calendars for not earnings. Freaking economic calendar. Next week we have our big ol' FOMC meeting, July 27th. That's huge, and you're never gonna guess what's happening in this week. A bunch of huge mega cap earnings too. So it's very interesting that we're ripping into this huge catalyst that, if you look back, has not done the market any good. It usually rips up, dumps off of it. Or we are right over here. You remember this rip? Big old rip and huge dump off of it. So I think right now we're just doing. It's no surprise. I don't know why people are acting. I see people on Twitter being like, "Oh, this one's different." I think the market is bottomed out. People are actually saying that, which frightens me that people are already saying that. So people saying that this bump is different from the last four we've had. So we've had 1, 2, 3, fourth now. This is the fourth one. So this one's different. It's like, no, it's doing what it's been doing all year. It's done this 4 times. This is the 4th time it's doing this. This is not new. This is not a different. This is everything is still as bad. It's not as bad as people thought it was going to be this time 3 months ago. People thought by now that we'd be in full-blown recession. So that's where I think we're getting the bounce, is that we're still not in full-blown recession. The consumer is not completely poor. The consumer is still strong for the time being. Just the only worries are, how strong will the Fed raise rates? How bad will inflation be? I think now that we know gas prices have come down this month, that if we don't get a fantastic print for the August CPI, then the market will absolutely hemorrhage, because that is a big driver in inflation, are these oil prices. And when those go down, that's really helpful for inflation, but there's still like many other problems. Obviously housing, people's rents still go down when oil goes down. So that's why I'm not getting FOMO. I'm watching. I get FOMO on big old green days when I just like don't take any calls. Like obviously I get FOMO on there, but I'm not like, oh shit, maybe I should grab calls now because we're still going to go up. I am just watching vigilantly. I do not want to get clapped like I did back in March. They might even give us, if it's like a March one. So what happened back in March was so many people were watching this key level right here, 4,600, because that's where we bounced off of twice over here. And so many people were like, including myself, I was like, if we break 4,600, we might be in the clear. And what did it do? It gave us 4,630. And just absolutely dumped off of that level. Bears were just waiting there. So we could see the same thing. We come up here to this last level that we struggled at, 4,100 to about like 4,180. And we could get SPY all the way up there, up to 4,200, 420 SPY. And then bears are just sitting and waiting. Because you look at these charts on the daily, and it is just like, it's like the bears just went on vacation, damn near. I mean, it's crazy. Like yesterday, I mean, look at this yesterday. Just gap up and just up. It's like nowhere, no bears anywhere. Just insanity. So, yeah, we'll just, man, we'll see what comes next. I can't give any. I'm not giving any projections. I'm just going to wait and watch while SPY rips. What's very interesting to me is what Amazon has been doing. Amazon has, you can see a nice breakout here. Look at that. We broke out of that line and we go straight up and we meet this level. So I am very interested to see if Amazon can break this level at 123. But I would be shocked to see it above 129. That would be insane. And it's interesting that it's doing this right in the earnings, or earnings about a week from now on Amazon. So that's very, very interesting to me. I remember when Meta dumped into its last earnings, just absolutely bled into its earnings. and it got a crazy, just bled just straight down. I mean, from 218 down to 169 over about a week and a half. And then earnings weren't as bad, and we shot up. So that makes me think, well, what is Amazon doing? Are earnings going to be that bad that bears are just laying it rip up and then shorting the hell out of it once they can get it up at 127 ish? Just something to keep an eye out for. But everything else, things are crazy, man. It's just been a crazy rally. Like I was honestly shook. I did not see this coming on SPX and the Nasdaq. It's been a strong tech led rally. The Nasdaq just doing stupid things now, just going crazy yesterday and even today, another point and a half day. But it's not like it's been straight up, so I'm not like kicking myself because I mean it went straight up here and then had huge red days, comes down, so it was just in this consolidation zone, and now we've broken up out of it. I could see Nasdaq coming up to 310, maybe even 315 to throw the bulls into a major trap, but I think we just have to ask ourselves, why did the market dump in the first place? A hawkish Fed, inflation, fear of a recession. Have any of those things gone away? No, no, and no. So I don't know. You tell me. I mean, for the short term, day to day, the market's just going to do whatever the hell it wants. If it wants to go up for no reason, it will. I am looking at big picture because that's kind of what I prefer to do, and I think there is just much more upside to the downside, if that makes any sense. Because, like I just described, SPY goes up 400, 500 points, and goes down 600, 700. So I'd like to prefer to play the side that is more lucrative, and yeah, it's interesting. Just a crazy rally, but I'm gonna try to capitalize on it unless it's already over. Yeah, but that's all I got for this little market update. I'll still do my stock market, my actual trade update, and talk about that, what I saw, what I was doing on that. But this was just a little update, like what the hell's going on with Elon, man? Elon has lost his fucking mind. I just don't get the guy. Anyways, I'll catch you later, guys. Bye.